Hi there, Josh Stevens here, Head Geek at SolarWinds. Today I've been asked to share with you my top 5 favorite tools in the Engineer's Toolset. So I've decided to focus on the classic tools that I've used for a long time but have been enhanced with the new Engineer's Toolset version 10. So without further ado, my top 5 favorite engineering tools in the toolset. Number 5, Watchit. Now Watchit's a great tool that not a lot of people have discovered out there, but you should really take a look at it. Watchit launches as a little gadget on the corner of the screen. You can actually go into the tool and start adding devices or sites that you want to monitor, keep an eye on throughout your network. I want to add, let's say, www.salesforce and maybe Yahoo. Makes all kinds of funky sounds as you do these types of things, and launches to keep you aware of the status of these sites. Now let's say I have an error like on SolarWinds.com. You go ahead and then trace route to that site, see where the problem might be occurring. I can do lots and lots of troubleshooting, and it gives me a really easy way to keep an eye on what's going on in the network while not really being obscuring my view. Just a quick, easy way to tell what's going on. So, number 4 on my list of my top 5 favorite tools is the MIB browser. Now, if you work with SNMP a lot like I do, then there are a lot of different types of tools you can use to get data from MIBs. One is a MIB Walk. Let me show you what MIB Walk does and why I like MIB browsers so much better. When you launch a MIB Walk, either in the tool set or on a specific device, usually a Linux server for instance will have a command line MIB Walk, you tell it the IP address, community string, and which tree you want to walk, either the standard tree or the proprietary or private tree, and then click Walk. And this thing is going to go run for a long time. There are over 10,000 MIBs supported on this specific device. I'm going to go ahead and click Stop and show you what we got so far. Lots of great data, a ton of information collected via SNMP from this device, but not necessarily easy to read or easy to search through. To contrast that, the SNMP MIB browser lets me first go in and define which devices I want to talk to, and then first grab the MIB I want to collect data from, and then just right click and say either get table or get tree. Much easier to analyze data this way. I can then go in and grab specific pieces of data, like let's say that I want to see I don't know, let's look at IF out octets or in octets. I can grab this data then and then refresh only those cells to see how the data is progressing and what new data has been coming in. So SNMP MIB browser is a very easy tool to use. I use it almost every day. Highly recommend you check it out. Now, number 3 on my list is WAN Killer. WAN Killer is a tool we've used at SolarWinds for a long time, and what it allows you to do is to generate traffic on the network. You might want to do this if you're doing a load testing, or if you need to actually see how the network performs under specific traffic load situations. All you do is tell it the IP address or host name that you want to send the traffic to, whether you want the traffic reflected back to you or simply to be discarded, what protocol, the packet size, the size of the bandwidth of the pipe you want to emulate, and then simply how much traffic, by what percentage you want to saturate it, and hit start. Now you can actually generate lots and lots of traffic with this tool, or you can run multiple copies of the tools from multiple machines and generate just tons of internet traffic. So a great tool to use when doing testing. I use it quite a bit. A lot of fun. WAN Killer. Now my number 2 tool on the list of my top favorite applications in the tool set is the Switchport Mapper. And I'm going to go ahead and launch it as a gadget in the new Workspace Studio here. Switchport Mapper can save you a ton of time. And as a network engineer, you've probably been tasked with mapping out the connections on your Ethernet switches. Now, worst case scenario, that involves tracing cables to patch panels, using a toner and a butt set, and actually having to send a tone down and find who's connected. Best case, it was probably a matter of using a show cam table on the switch with a show ARP on the router from command line and correlating the data, but it can take a really long time. Switchport Mapper does it for you in just a couple of clicks. You give it an IP address and community string for the router and switch, and away you go. All the ports on the switch mapped out with who's connected by MAC, IP, and host name. Also, the duplex data of the switch ports, the VLAN membership, the speed, all the data you'd want to see. There's actually a lot of other columns you could have displayed, such as MTU. Go ahead and move that up a couple of notches. Very easy to use this tool and to see all the data you want to see when troubleshooting Ethernet switch issues. Now, my number 1 favorite tool in the Engineer's tool set, especially the classic tools, without a doubt is IP Network Browser. And let me go ahead and show you how IP Network Browser works. So IP Network Browser is a great application for doing network discovery, and really when you're new on a network as a consultant, or if you just accepted a job there, it allows you to kind of get to know the network by browsing through the different devices on each subnet. As you give it a subnet, IP Network Browser starts crawling through the devices and discovering detail about them. On a Windows server, for instance, it will show you who's logged in, the interface is available. You can actually do right-click and launch a real-time bandwidth gauge to see more data about traffic rates on that device. You can see any shares that are available. You can see actually any shared printers. Great amount of data. Now on a Cisco router or a device like that, you can also see things like the iOS version. You can see the different interfaces. You can see what routes that device knows about. So you can then go right-click and discover devices on those networks and continue learning about the network you're on. A very easy way to get to know networks and to find your way around if it's a network you're not familiar with, or quite frankly if it's a network you haven't troubleshot in a while and you want to refresh your memory. So again, my top 5 favorite tools in the Engineer's tool set. Number 5, Watch It. Number 4, the SNMP Mib Browser. Number 3, WAN Killer. Number 2, the Switchport Mapper, and my number 1 favorite tool, IP Network Browser. Josh Stevens here again, head geek at SolarWinds. Go to SolarWinds.com, download the Engineer's tool set, and try for yourself. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.